ERi-TV with English news broadcast. Dear viewers, hello and thank you for joining us. Do stay tuned for a domestic and international report for October 31st, 2025. Reporting live from our headquarters in Asmara and inviting you to stay with us is Heaven Johannes, your news anchor for this session. To begin with, I present you the major headlines. South African delegation visits developmental sites. Conference to enhance arts and cultural activities conducted in Asmara. In our international report, China urged US to end decades-long blockade against Cuba. And excluding Russian gas from market drives up gas price in Europe. In today's domestic report, a South African delegation led by Ms. Anna Thandi Moraka, Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of South Africa, today visited various development sites in the southern region. The delegation, accompanied by Major Kubrab Abraham, manager of the Crops and Livestock Corporation, toured the agricultural activities being carried out at the Halhala Agricultural Project and received briefings from experts. The delegation also visited the Msilam Dam. On October 30th, the South African delegation met and held talks with Mr. Yamana Gebremesqal, Minister of Information, focusing on strategic media cooperation. The delegation also met with Dr. Woldai Fitur for discussions on prospects for strengthening bilateral relations and sectoral collaboration. Moving on to the central region, a conference aimed at enhancing the quality and content of arts and cultural activities was held at the Asmara Municipality Hall on October 30th. Mr. Asmerom Tsagabrhan, Director General of Culture and Sports in the region, said that the objective of the conference was to preserve the strengths and address the weaknesses of cultural and artistic programs presented in connection with national celebrations. He also highlighted the importance of organizing artistic and cultural works based on research that could be passed on to future generations. At the event, 6 discussion papers were presented and participants conducted extensive deliberations on the topics raised. Mr. Zerit Tawaldabrhan, Managing Director in the region, on his part, provided guidelines in line with the issues raised in the discussion papers. And now, the Ansaba region. The Agriculture and Land Department in the Ansaba region reported that as a result of ample rainfall, all dams and water reservoirs in the region have been filled to capacity. Mr. Gebremesqal Tawalda, representative of the department, indicated that over the past 5 years, more than 30 dams have been constructed in the region, significantly contributing to ensuring potable water supply for both humans and livestock, as well as to the development of irrigation farming. He also stated that new dams are under construction in the Halhal subzone and at Bielta in the Galab subzone. Mr. Gebremesqal further noted that this year farmers are engaged in irrigation farming on about 3,000 hectares of land, playing a significant role in ensuring nutritious food for all and everywhere. He also called on the farmers in the region to make proper use of the dams in their areas to expand irrigation farming, increase production and stabilize local markets. Upcoming is our international report. Dear viewers, stay tuned. Welcome back. To begin with, China. China has urged the United States to immediately lift its blockade and sanctions against Cuba, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman said today, October 31st, at a press conference. The UN General Assembly adopted a draft resolution on Wednesday, urging the United States to end its economic, commercial and financial embargo against Cuba. The draft resolution was passed by a vote of 165 in favor, 7 against and 12 abstentions. For more than 60 years, the United States has imposed a cruel blockade and illegal sanctions on Cuba, seriously violating the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and the basic norms governing international relations. This has severely infringed upon the Cuban people's rights to survival and development, causing them tremendous suffering. The fact that UN General Assembly has once again adopted the resolution with an overwhelming majority reflects the international community's broad support for the just struggle of the Cuban people to safeguard national sovereignty and oppose external interference and blockade. It also shows that unilateralism and bullying practices are unpopular and will not prevail, said spokesperson Guo Jiakun. China has consistently opposed the US blockade and sanctions against Cuba. Since 1992, China has voted in favor of the Cuban resolution opposing the US blockade for 33 consecutive years. The country will continue to stand firmly on the side of international fairness and justice and will continue to support the Cuban people in opposing external interference and blockade, pursuing a development path suited to their national conditions and safeguarding their sovereignty and national dignity, the spokesman added. Moving on to Russia and Europe. Excluding Russian liquefied natural gas from the global gas balance will drive up the gas price. Leonid Mikhelson, CEO of Russia's second-largest gas producer Novatek, said on Thursday. Speaking at the Verona Euro-Asian Economic Forum, Michelson said Russia accounts for more than 10% of global liquefied natural gas production, adding that it is unrealistic to remove the country from the global gas balance. On October 23rd, EU member states approved the bloc's 19th package of sanctions against Russia, including a Russian natural gas import ban. The ban will be implemented in two phases, with short-term contracts ending after 6 months and long-term contracts ceasing from January 1st, 2027. According to a recent report by the International Energy Agency, in the first 3 quarters of this year, US natural gas deliveries to Europe surged by 60% year-on-year, accounting for almost 60% of Europe's total natural gas imports, while Russia remained Europe's second-largest liquefied natural gas supplier. This concludes our domestic and international report for this session, dear viewers. Before we finalize, I present you the major headlines once more. South African delegation visits developmental sites. Conference to enhance arts and cultural activities conducted in Asmara. Meanwhile, in our international report, China urged the US to end decades-long blockade against Cuba. And excluding Russian gas from market drives up gas price. This was The World on Friday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Dear viewers, from all of us here, thank you for joining.